Hi, this is trepacer, and welcome to my film series review, Volume 9. As promised, I watched today from this Gamera double feature set, Gamera versus Guiron, which came out in 1969, I believe. And that's him that looks like a knife. Right there, there's Guiron right there. I think you can see that real good. There he is. Looks like a shark, it looks like a giant knife. Anyway, this story takes place, it begins about the, they show you all these explosions. It's about the Earth and life and different planets and all that stuff. And then the scientists hear some waves coming from outer space, and they don't know exactly what it is. These sound waves. And then you actually have these three kids, a boy and his best friend and the boy's little sister. They have a telescope and they're looking out into the stars, and they actually see a flying saucer. They see it coming and they see it land. And then the next day they go out, into the woods to look for the flying saucer that they saw that nobody else supposedly saw. And they actually see it. And of course the young girl is hesitant to go near it, but the two young boys, they're bold, so they get on the flying saucer and pretend like they're gonna fly it, because there's nobody on it. And they actually start touching buttons, and then they actually take off, and it gets shot into space, literally. And of course, the young sister of the boy, she's of course terrified, and she runs back and tells her mother, and the mother in this movie is got to be one of the worst parents ever, because she doesn't take this daughter seriously. And who would take a daughter, saying that the kid, she just assumes that the kids are off playing somewhere, but she doesn't even go to investigate. She just kind of just dismisses it. And when the mother of the other boy that's visiting the son of the mother, that's not the son of the mother, when the other mother comes to pick up her son, from the house there, she kind of tells him, no, don't worry about it. They're probably off playing somewhere. And the other lady just kind of dismisses it and say, you know what? Okay, good enough. I gotta run anyway. So the parents, they kind of have a dismissive attitude. If the kids are not there, just okay, they just probably playing off somewhere, and kind of blow it off. And then you even have the young girl telling her brother's friend mom that, listen, some spaceship came down, and of course she totally blows him off, thinks she's totally exaggerating. And even the security guy who they make fun of, he kind of placates the little girl at least a little bit, tells her that he believes in it, and he'll look for them. At least fakes an interest. At least he's not like the two female parents in this movie, which just totally blow off the little girl. And of course, which kind of would traumatize the little girl. She sees her brother and her brother's friend take off in a spaceship, and they're gone, and no adults will believe her. But anyway, back to the boys in space. They fly off in the spaceship into space, and then of course, who do they run into? The children's friend, everybody's children's friend, Gamera. Okay, and of course, they can't really control the spaceship, but they pass by Gamera, and they basically, it looks like they're racing with Gamera, and Gamera's, I guess, following along, racing. And Gamera's, who instinctively loves kids, he actually tries to keep up with them, but actually the spaceship actually takes off even faster than Gamera, believe it or not, can catch up with them. So they're off, and they actually land on this planet. Okay, where the spaceship lands, it's obviously being piloted remotely, and it lands, and they get off, and then they actually see two monsters getting ready to fight. Okay, and one of the monsters that you see was actually in the previous Gamera movie. It's the I guess that creature was called Gyrus. No, Gyro. No, Gaios. The tall bird-like thing that had the beak and could fire laser beams that Gamera defeated in the first movie that I reviewed in this film series review. But the Gamera movies, so you have that, or another creature like that one. Actually, you see him battling Guiron, this creature with a knife head. They're actually fighting, and of course this creature, which has the head like a knife, basically chops up. I guess that knife head thing is real sharp, and it actually manages to chop up this guy else and just chop it into pieces and basically kill it. And then you later find out when the young boys are, they find their underground base. They get off the spaceship, and of course the air is breathable. Of course, even though it's a distant planet, the air is totally breathable. And they run into these two space women who explain to them that, listen, this is our planet. Our planet is dying. And this Guiron on this planet here, he's our defender. And they said, I think due to they're trying to do some kind of experiment. It produced all these weird creatures that come on their planet, and their planet is dying, and that's why they have Guiron there, who's their champion, who they keep like an underground base, and they let him out to battle these creatures for them. But in the meantime, they sent out the distress signal that the scientists early in the movie said they got. They just didn't know where it was coming from exactly. Oh, actually, they did. Actually, they did say they know where it was coming from, but they said to get there would probably take 50,000 years. That's how far away it was. Okay, to actually respond to that. But anyway, so these young boys are on the planet, and they're telling them, listen, you can come to Earth. The young boys, they, said, yeah, you can come to Earth. Tell the two alien women, yeah, you can come to Earth, and and they even tell her about Gamera, how Gamera, was racing with them, and how Gamera's everybody's friend, and everything. But these space women, they don't actually want. They don't want to help the kids. They actually want to eat the kids' brains, believe it or not. Okay, and they even make a plan that they're going to have, they actually read the boys' minds and actually give them some food, I think donuts and milk. That's the boys' favorite food, and they give it to them to drink. And they actually with sleeping powder in it, so they actually, knock the boys out, and they're planning on the long ride back to Earth, they're going to eat the boys' brains, believe it or not, which I thought was kind of extreme for a Gamera movie, because these usually Gamera movies are kid friendly, but I guess you have to put the kids in some kind of danger for Gamera to come. And anyway, so they actually go to the point where they actually drug the kid, and then the one kid, they actually shave his head, and they're getting ready to basically slice his skull open to get to his brain, when, of course, who happens on the scene? Gamera, of course, Gamera. He's a kid's friend. Okay, so he shows up to battle Guiron, and of course, it's not too predictable to say this. Of course, Gamera, of course, after a little tussle back and forth, Gamera defeats Guiron. Okay, and he actually, because the space, the two alien women, I think they get killed in an explosion when Gamera is fighting Guiron, and of course the spaceship is damaged as well. But to get it back, the boys get on the plane, and Gamera actually flies them back flies them back to Earth, where all is right in the world, and where the little girl could basically say, "See, I told you so." They came back in an alien ship. She can literally say that because all those adults that didn't believe her. Here's the proof right there: Gamera landing with the spaceship with the two young kids in it. And then with the part that had me laughing just before it goes off, the young boys, explaining to the scientists, we want world peace. He said, he goes this whole spiel, and plus no traffic accidents. He goes into this whole spiel about how we should all get along, and there should be no wars or anything else. And then plus he goes, and plus we don't want no traffic accidents. I guess maybe back when they made this movie, maybe there's a rash of traffic accidents in the country, in Japan or whatever, and they just, I don't know why he threw that line in there. It was just funny. It's funny to me that this came out of nowhere. Well, they actually stopped. It looks like a PSA where the guy, the kid, that literally stops and looks at the camera and makes a speech to everybody who's standing in the back of him. And well, not in the back of him, in front of him, and he's looking directly at the camera. He makes a speech about we want peace and war, no wars, and plus no traffic accidents. Which I don't know where that came from, but that was, I don't know, that was just made me laugh. Anyway, but like I said, I like the action. Gamera, I actually showed scenes from the previous two movies with Gamera fighting the Gyrus, not Gyrus, the Gaios in the first movie that I reviewed. Okay, they actually showed that footage in this movie, and so, but overall, this was a decent movie. Not, like I said, the kids, I don't know, when they dub the kids, they just, I don't know, maybe it's just a language thing, but they just sound extremely annoying all the time. And like I said, these kids, come on, like I say, you got to check your brain with these. apply too much logic. That a spaceship would land, and of course nobody would know about it and stay overnight, and then nobody would find it except these two little kids. It's out in the middle of a field, wide open field, but of course nobody else finds it. But yeah, like I said, it's a Gamera movie, so you go with it. And like I said, Gamera usually does his best. You know, he kicks ass. He takes a little beating, of course, but of course he triumphs in the end. Of course, a flying turtle that could come on, that has fire breath. Come on, who's gonna beat it? Anyway, so I'm gonna give Gamera versus Guiron, who actually, like I said, he's basically like a knife with two eyes on the side of his head. Looks like sort of like a shark. Okay, doesn't have any real personality as far as the monsters go and stuff. Although I did like the way he chopped at the first Gales that he fought. Yeah, in the beginning he was pretty good. Chopped the guy pretty good. Chopped that monster up pretty good. But Gamera, he took a little beating, but Gamera came back, and there was no doubt Gamera would kick Garen's ass in the end. So that's what it was. Anyway, let me give Gamera versus Guiron. I'll give it a 6. It's not the best movie. Like I said, they show little flashbacks, but it's not the best. And the plot, it was okay, like I said. But I just, the parents in this movie are just horrible. I mean, come on, the kids are off somewhere and they don't know where they are, and the mother doesn't. They don't seem to get to really care. They just assume that they're off, somewhere, and of course they could be killed somewhere or kidnapped. But they, kind of have too much of a laissez-faire attitude with their kids being gone. But okay, I'll give it a 6. Okay. So the next movie that I'll be viewing in this series will be the last one in this 2-disc series, Gamera versus Jiger. That's it. Gamera versus Jiger. There you go. See right there. There's that monster. It looks sort of like a dinosaur. Okay, so we'll see how Gamera battles that one and how he wins. Anyway, if you've seen this movie, let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. This is trepacer saying so long and take care.